Hey, how are you? I don't know if you'd be awake. I sent you the that I was going live. I didn't know if you'd be awake. Hey, it may just end up being us if it doesn't end up sending out notifications, but that's okay. I made it like 1 minute before midnight, so it was still effectively the third. I still labeled it the third, so I have had the worst. Ugh, this is not. It's not been a good couple days. You just woke up. Yeah, I'm probably gonna go lay down. I don't know, like an hour or two, maybe. We'll see. See. Um, I finally finished my the Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. I finished it last night, so I can watch the movie this weekend, and then I can actually start Sunrise on the Reaping as soon as I start reading. Hey, Sam, how are you? I was gonna go live yesterday, but I ended up in Breeze Live for a while, and then by the time I got done there, I ended up going tanning. So I went tanning, and then it was a beautiful. Hey, it was. I got off live and I went tanning. It was about 11, a little after 11. It was beautiful out. It was like 76 degrees. It was kind of breezy. It was just super super nice out. And then I sat up longer than I should have. I finished my book and I came home and finished my book, and it was about 3 in the morning, and I was like, well, I gotta get up for 6. Do I really want to lay down? And I was like, well, maybe I'll lay down. And then I checked the weather because the weather kept skirting around us, and I was like, all right. And I just kept watching or whatever, and then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, we get a tornado warning. Out of nowhere, we get a tornado warning. And so I'm looking at the radar and whatever, and I'm a little confused. And I go out to the living room and I open up the windows in case the siren goes off. And it's 4:28 in the morning. And so we get a tornado warning. And I look at the radar and I start to see where there's some storms coming our way and whatnot. And his alarm goes off for 4:30. And I go in and I'm like, well, we're under a tornado warning. He's like, a tornado warning or a tornado watch? And I'm like, a tornado warning. Hey, Kayla. And I said, just go back to bed. I said, the sirens haven't gone off or anything yet. And it's still like 45 minutes away. So I sat and watched this tornado warning and just watched it and whatever. And then it said we were going to get storms, and that kind of skirted us, and storms and skirted us. And we ended up not even really having that bad of storms, to be honest. And then the tornado warning just went away. So today I'm on Threads, and there was a girl who said that Ashland, Kentucky had a tornado warning, and she got silent notifications on her phone. So did I. And she's like, and the sirens didn't go off. I was like, yeah, they didn't go off. And she called their area where the sirens go off, and she was like, why didn't the sirens go off? And they're like, we electively did not turn them on. Because and I'm like, you electively decided not to, I don't know, warn people of a tornado? Like, that's wild to me. Hello. And I'm like, that is insane. Like, what do you mean you electively didn't turn on the tornado sirens? So that's, they're like, well, with all the cuts, yeah, okay, yeah, people are gonna die because, yeah, okay, whatever, whatever. Um, so I ended up staying up until he left for work. So I was up until about 7. I ended up staying up until 7, and then, which is how my nights used to be. And then I laid down, and I had to get up and go run something somewhere at 2. So I did that and came home, and it was my husband's birthday, and we have not had good birthdays for this poor man in the past 6 years. The last 6 years have been a nightmare in birthdays. 3 years ago, my grandson was removed after my daughter said she shakes him to the police on his birthday while I am making a birthday cake. She decides, after all the drama that had went on, and we had to call the police back a second time, to say that she shook my grandson. And so that was 3 years ago. 3 years before that, we had to call the police on her on my husband's birthday because she trashed our house. So in 6 years, the man has had 3 shitty birthdays. I feel awful. Like, he was stuck in South Carolina. He almost barely didn't make it home. He ran out of hours, and they did some trick or whatever that allowed him. He even did a 16-hour rule, and it didn't work. But they said he was so close to home that they would use the safe haven law. So the poor man barely even got home. He sat in like 4 traffic jams. And I'm just crying the whole day because I was like, you have been screwed on your birthdays so many times. I feel awful. And like, birthdays to him are a really big deal. And I felt awful. So, not that I have the money, but I felt fucking awful. So I took him to Taco Bell. He just really wanted a Cantina bowl, and it was his birthday, and I'm not going to tell him no because he already had a horrible day. It was his birthday. It went to hell in a handbasket. And so I went there and just got him a Cantina bowl. Our life is, we have gotten some really, really, really bad news in the past 2 days, today especially. And just another bad thing for him and his birthday because like we got like some of the worst news you could possibly get. And I spent a lot of the day crying, and so it's been a really rough 2 days. And everything's really frustrating and scary and stuff. So 3 or 4 miles from your house, jeez. Did your siren go off? Because ours didn't hear. Like I said, to be fair, it was about 45 minutes away, I would say, but it was like a straight line. They were like, oh, it's headed east, and it was dead west from us. So I was waiting, but it ended up dying down before it got to us, thank God. I am not good with storms at night by any stretch of the imagination. We were actually under a tornado watch again until sometime. I don't remember when. It might be over now. I'm looking. I think it said till 11. We didn't really have any weather though. Like, it rained a little bit. Now we're under a flood watch again until Sunday. So, but yeah, so we're good there. So the weather's finally calmed down. I'm having him take the car tomorrow. I don't even want it. I don't need it for nothing. I kept it today, did my stuff, and I don't need it. Quit. You've been watching a lot of tornado videos? Yeah, those scare me. You had him in the tub. It sounded horrible. You live in yeah, I know, right? I lived in trailer for 23 years, so I know all about that. And then I've lived in modular since, which isn't a whole lot better. The modular I have currently is on a cement foundation, which makes it a little bit more safe, but not like I feel safe. You know what I mean? Like, if it's something horrible, I'm still going to Walmart. Like, no, thank you. The dogs are good. The dogs are good. The dogs are good. Oh, shit. Am I bleeding? A little bit. We had a scare today. I had a scare today. I come into this room, and down on the floor, there's some water. And I'm like, where did the water come from? So I'm like, whatever, maybe I don't know. So I mop up the water, and I leave the room, and I come back, and there's water. And I was like, I mop up the water. I'm like, what is going on? And I'm like, did the toilet overflow? So I look at the toilet, didn't overflow. I'm like, are the fish tanks still standing? I'm like, the fish tanks are still standing. Is the roof leaking? I can't figure out for the life of me where this water's coming from. So I wait a little bit longer. I look, there's water on the floor. And I'm like, what is even going on? So I call my husband in a panic and I'm like, something's going on. I said, there's water on the floor and I can't figure it out. I said, maybe this fish tank or that fish tank has a slow leak and we have an autofiller, so we're not really realizing it. Well, I opened up this one and I looked in the filter, there's a media bag in the filter and it was going up over the media bag. And I think it was going onto the floor. So I bumped the media bag down. It fell into the tank. And I mopped up the floor. And I came back and there was like a little bit of water. And I'm like, all right. So I dry it up again. And it's been dry ever since. So apparently I found the problem, thank God, because we were going to have to drain that and move this section right here is not attached to this section right here. That's why you can see this like line right here. So we would have had to drain this and pull it out and see what was going on. And luckily we didn't have to do that. So I figured out the issue, thank God. So, I mean, there's that plus. What are you doing? Oi! I did, I got my towels washed, but I haven't put them away. I just pulled them out of the dryer. I got my clothes washed, put away. My clothes washed. They're not put away yet. I have stuff in the dryer, which I got to get out. I'm going to start my book here either today or tomorrow, probably. Did you finish off Paradise? It's been a really rough couple days. And tomorrow is not going to be any better. I don't think. I'm not sure. But I don't think tomorrow's going to be any better. You have 20 minutes left of episode 8. Yeah, my husband is a very not to me. My husband's a very respectful, toe the line type of guy professionally. And there were some weird things going on in his work. As you guys know, he's supposed to be off the last 2 weeks of April because of the plant shutting down. And so, we were really stressing about getting them that 2 weeks, getting stuff together for that 2 weeks, and then waiting for the unemployment and whatever. And so we were stressing about that, obviously. And then there starts to be a rumor going around his work that something's going on. And we're like, it's a rumor, like, big deal. And he said he heard it from the boss. But then my husband asked the boss, and the boss said that there was somebody coming next week to talk to them about it. And I'm like, that don't sound good. Like, he was like, well, they were supposed to be there today, but they're bumping it to next week. And I'm like, well, so they're just going to let a rumor circulate at your work for the next week? I was like, I don't think that's very cool. I was like, so ask him about it. So he did. And he was like, well, there's somebody coming next week. And I'm like, that did not help me any. And so today he's at work and a message goes out across all of the handhelds or whatever saying, turn in your scanners. Okay. Not sure what that's about. So tomorrow he turns in his scanner, which that just means he doesn't scan the loads in. It means he, picks them up, drops them off, whatever. He doesn't always scan anyway. And so he doesn't really know what's going on. And so I told him tomorrow, you need to go in and be like, all right, so what's going on? Like, am I going to have a job after the 2 weeks is up? Or like, there's rumors going around that this and that is happening. Nobody knows because they haven't come yet. And so there's rumors going around and it's like, okay, well, is he going to have a job in 2 weeks after the shutdown? There's rumors that they lost the account that my husband's worked on for 14 years. We started on this account 14 years ago. We actually changed companies to stay on this route. He changed companies to stay on this route. He's been with this company for 8 years. So he's been on the route for 14. He's been with the company for 8. And we don't know what's happening tomorrow. We have no idea. So it might be as simple as, okay, we're changing things up and you're going to do something different. We're changing things up and you're going to have to go over the road. Or, yeah, we're fucked, you're fucked, you find a new job. So we find that out tomorrow. After 14 years of being on this run and 8 years being with the company, the heads up that they want to give us is, yeah, we'll talk to you about it next week. So there's a possibility it doesn't matter about the 2 weeks of him not having a job because he may not have a job in general. We don't know. We'll find out more tomorrow. So I've been crying for 2 days. We'll see. We have some plans in our heads in case something happens, but right now the best thing that it would be is he goes into work and asks, what's going on, and they just say, oh, things are changing around and now you're doing this. That would be the best case scenario of just yeah, we lost this, but we're going to do this, and you're going to have to go over the road. We'll deal with it. It won't be great. Before we moved to Kentucky, the whole reason we moved to Kentucky is because I had just adopted Ember, and my husband was going from Detroit to the Mexican border in a 6-day turnaround every week, and then he'd be home for 36 hours. And I didn't want to effectively be a single parent to a troubled teenager as a first-time parent. So I told him that, we need to do something. And that's how we ended up in Kentucky, was they had local runs in Kentucky. So we moved to Kentucky. And so I haven't had him go over the road for the past 6 years. I can get used to it again. He did it for a while then. He used to go out for a week at a time. He's went out for 3 weeks at a time. It'll be a lot to get used to, but you got to do what you got to do type deal. Now they may come back and say that there's nothing for nobody and you better find a new job. That's a possibility. We've talked about that and what would happen and, what we could do or whatever. He wants to stay with the company if there's a spot for him. Obviously that needs to be filled out of nowhere. He wants to stay with the company. If, it's just him going regional, then, he'd rather stay there. He's been there for 8 years. He'd rather not change jobs. But we don't know where we're at right now. So we'll know more tomorrow. That's going to get on my nerves. I don't even know which one it is. This one. I'll be right back. not going to move this whole thing. Oh, shit. Hopefully that fixes it. I don't know. It's sounding like it's not going to fix it. So we'll see. I don't know why it's doing that. Because now I just put water in it. Is the other one like that too? No, it's just this one. That's weird. There we go. Hold on again. I'm doing great. Hey. Hey. All right, well, there, I guess I fixed it because now it's not making any noise, so that's good. When that thing runs out, it just makes horrible noises, and apparently it decided to just now run out. Now, normally I would fill the entire bucket all the way up, all 5 gallons, but I am not feeling that right now, so I'm just going to fill the 1 pitcher. That'll last a little while. So today would have been my grandmother's birthday. My great-grandmother's. She was born April 4th, 1906. 1906. She would have been extremely old. She would have been almost 119 years old. She'd be 119 years old today. My great-grandma would be 119 today. That's wild to think about. That's real wild to think about. So my husband's was yesterday. My great-grandma's is today. Yeah, just because I don't want to cry on a live. I've only cried like 12 times today, so I feel bad for everybody that was on the phone with me as I cried. I would like talk to somebody for a while and then I'd feel bad. Stop it. And I would feel bad, so then I'd move to a different person. And I cried on the phone with, I think, what was it, 2 people? And I texted with like 5, maybe 6. So, but my husband's was yesterday. He turned 42. My grandmother would have been 119 today. Great-grandmother would have been 119 today. Mine's next. That's on the 12th. It'll be 43. Next is the 23rd, which was my mom. She would have been 81. That ain't right. That ain't right. That ain't right. 73. 39. I'm really bad at math. Hold on. That ain't right. Hold on. 2025. She'd have been 80. She'd have been 80 on the 23rd. It's like, that's weird. Okay, so she'd have been 80 on the 23rd. And then my grandmother would have been 100 or so on the 28th. She was born in 1960. My grandmother was born in 1960. She was 15 years older than my mom. Well, gee, why? No, she was born in 1928. Is that right? Yeah, she died in 1960. My mom was born in 45. How could she have been born in 60? No, she was born in 1928. So she'd have been 98 this year. My grandmother would have been 98. So they would have been 119, 98, and 80 this year. And then we got my 43 and 42. So that's a lot of birthdays in April. Oh, I was letting it out. I cried like 12 times today. It was awesome. Yeah. Every time I'd stop crying, I would start crying again. I cried a lot today. I cried like 3 times yesterday when I found out. And I was kind of okay because I was like, all right, well, we don't know what's going on. And then today they're like, okay, we're going to turn in the scanners, which that right there's a problem because he gets scanner stop pay. So if they turn in the scanners, we're going to lose that pay on the times that he would have scanned. So that's less money in our paycheck as it is. So that was like what put it in perspective for me. And I'm like, all right, this is it. Like, we're not waiting a week. You need to ask your boss, like, do I need to get another job? Like, are we fixing this after the 2 week thing? Are we doing something? Are we going somewhere, or are we doing something different? Or do I need to just get another job? Because if we can't take this pay cut again. We cannot take the pay cut again and then not even know what's going on in 2 weeks. Like, I don't think it's fair for them to wait 3 days before we're going to shut down to say whether or not he's going to have a job when he comes back. They're giving him 3 days to prepare. Like, what are you doing? Giving him 3 days to figure out what's going on. Like, that is so unprofessional, in my opinion. I mean, if they got a plan, if they got some type of a plan, and the rumors already circulating to me, they were supposed to do it today, and to me, they should have done it today. And if they couldn't make it there, then somebody needed to say something. Like, don't worry, y'all are good. Y'all have jobs, something, anything. To make somebody wait a week to figure something out when if it's next week, his last day of working before the shutdown is the 14th. That's 10 days from now. So, like, literally, they're giving him like 3 days. Like, what are you doing? Like, people have jobs or people have bills and family that, like, they need a heads up. And I don't feel like 3 days is enough of a heads up, in my opinion. So he's just gonna go in tomorrow and be like, look, are we gonna have jobs? Like, do I need to figure something else out? Like, are we doing something? Because like I said, he'd rather stay there, even if he has to go regional, because he's worked there for 8 years. He doesn't want to change job. Nobody wants to change jobs, dude. But like, we need to know what's going on. We have bills as it is. I don't even know what we're supposed to do for the 2 weeks that he's. I got a lot saved up to hopefully get us through those 2 weeks, but I'm not going to have any money for after that. Like, we're going to have to figure something out. Something's going to have to happen because you can't milk a turnip, dude. That's not how any of this works. And then he's supposed to get a safety bonus this paycheck, possibly next paycheck, but probably this paycheck, supposedly. But now is he going to get that with everything going on? I don't know. And that was part of the money that I was using to pay for those 2 weeks. So if they don't pay the bonus check, I don't know if we're going to get through those 2 weeks. That's where I'm at right now. Like, he's owed that bonus, but does that mean he's going to get it? I don't know. We haven't got paid yet. I just checked. So Sissy. She's digging on the bed over there. I'm doing shit, Roberta. Thank you. I'm doing like shit. You'd have to watch the rest of the live to know why. I'm not going to rehash it all. She's down there digging in the bed. Dig, 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 dig. But yeah, tomorrow it's supposed to rain, I guess, the next like 3 days, I think. Hold on. Well, no, it's not supposed to be too bad. Actually, it's not. The forecast has changed. Tomorrow it's going to be 82 and partly sunny. Then it's going to be 79 and partly sunny. Then it's going down to 58 on Sunday. So it'll be nice tomorrow and Saturday. So I got to order the groceries. And I told him he's taking the car tomorrow. I could take the car tomorrow if I wanted to. Maybe I'll keep it Saturday or something and take Sissy to the park. We went to the park the other day. I didn't go live or nothing. I went to the park by myself, and it was just me and Sissy, and I just put my music on my phone and walked. I didn't call anybody. I didn't text anything. I didn't go live. I just took Sissy to the park, and um I I got stopped by these people. They wanted we talked for a while. I got stopped by two little girls who wanted to pet Sissy. Um, One of them hugged me. I just spent time walking around with Sis and talking to people. You know, it's been weird. I've never went to the park and not been live. Like I've always went live when I went to the park, but I wasn't feeling it that day. So I just took her by myself and we walked the park, and it was nice. I had went to the gym, I think the day prior, and I did three, almost 3.25 miles on the bike. I didn't want to do anything super crazy because move. I didn't want to do anything super crazy because I knew I was walking with Sissy the next day, and I didn't want to have my legs cramped up to where I couldn't take her. So I did like 3.12 miles on the bike so that I would still have leg strength to take Sis. And we went on a nice walk. So yeah, she's been she's been a little sassy lately. Pepper has been being very clingy, very, very, very clingy. She's wanting to be up in everybody's face. She's wanting to be up in my face constantly, and I give her lots of kisses because, you know, she just wants to be super clingy and she must be feeling some kind of a way. So I always just give her lots and lots of kisses. It's amazing how much stuff you can go through in 32 minutes. So tomorrow I'll know more about what's going on with his job. Next Sunday, we're supposed to go to his mom's so that she can take us out to our birthday dinner. This weekend won't be a whole lot of stuff. I know that we're probably going to watch Songbirds and Snakes since I finished the book. I like to read the book and then rewatch the movie. I've only seen that movie once. So I just finished the movie or the book yesterday. So we're probably going to watch the movie on Sunday. And I'm going to start The Sunrise on the Reaping here tonight or tomorrow. Everybody's excited for me. They're like, I can't wait for you to read it. And I'm like, me too, because I'm starting to see spoilers on TikTok. And I don't want to be spoiled or anything. So I'm going to start reading and get it done. Oh, hey. I was actually thinking about you before this live. I was going to text you and let you know that I was live, but it was late, so I didn't. I was, didn't know if you'd show up. You're going to want to rewatch the live because my life just went into the toilet this afternoon. And I won't know anything till tomorrow, so. Just cross your fingers that whatever the news is, it's survivable. Because I don't know if I have any more tears left to cry at this point. I always get waves of good luck, bad luck, and middle luck. But I feel like this time it went bad luck, middle, like normal, and then right back into bad luck. I don't feel like I got a lot of good luck in there. I mean, I'm not saying I didn't get any, but usually I get good luck for a while and then it'll go into partially good luck and then it'll go into bad luck. And it just went from bad to, okay, everything's all right, but nothing's great or horrible, to, okay, yeah, life is awful right now. My car needs a bunch of repairs. And his job. We had a scare with one of the dogs on last Saturday. That was terrifying for a few minutes. He's fine now. I mean, he's fine, but it was terrifying for a minute. It was like he choked on something or something. And that was scary. And then, like, he's got all these doctor's appointments on May 5th. He has 4 doctor's appointments. 4. And he may not have insurance to go to any of them if this goes to hell in a handbasket. So now I'm going to have to reschedule 4 doctor's appointments, but I can't do that because I don't know if he has to change jobs, what insurance he has, to know who to call to make the appointment, because more than likely he's not going to be able to see the same doctors because they're not going to take the insurance. So there's that. Everybody's sleeping. I don't know where Bronx is. He must be over there. He's always somewhere. Okay, I guess Bronx ain't in here. I guess Bronx stayed out in the other room because he ain't in here. I just looked and he's not in here. I got to get my lawnmower fixed because we're starting to have grass. So I need to get the lawnmower fixed. I need to fix a bunch of crap on my car. I need to make sure my husband has a job. Yeah, I cried a lot today. Been fighting with some guy on Threads who can't answer a simple question. He keeps deflecting. I keep asking him the same question. He just keeps deflecting and trying to put me down instead. He's going on and on about Trump, and I was like, yeah, how's that stock market crash? He's like you have anything in stocks to even care about. I was like, 401k. I bet you don't have any money in your 401k. Again, I ask you, how's that stock market? Oh, you think it's funny that it crashed? No, I think it's funny you're in denial, though. So, yeah, I've been going back and forth with that idiot. Is that one of my lighters? Oh, yeah. Oh, it's my good lighter, too. My good lighter. It's my big, huge. Oh, this is nice. My other lighter is acting funny and I use it for my incense. And it's been acting funny, even though it's full, it's been acting weird. But I just found that's so great. I've been wondering, there's another one floating around here somewhere. I just don't know where. I think that one might have broke, but I was looking for this one. And it's been sitting here the whole time. Did not know that. I just happened to look over and see it. It's kind of like the same color as the table. Because the table's black and it's a dark navy blue. So I guess I just never noticed it was sitting there. I'm pretty warm right now. I don't know. I just wanted to come live and talk to you guys for a minute. I was gonna go live earlier when I was like upset. Probably wouldn't have been the best idea, which is why I didn't. But I guess I just really wanted to talk to people. I wanted to keep my mind off of it. I wanted reassurance. I don't really know, but I told my friend, I was like, I really want to go live and just have people. But I decided it wasn't the best idea because I was not in a good headspace and I was not okay and I was not okay. And I just figured that was not something that needed to be, put out into the world. So I just talked to my friends, via text or or phone call or whatever to get myself through it. And eventually, I felt a little bit better here and there. Things go in waves. Come on, hurry up. Still haven't been paid. Sometimes it takes up to like an hour and a half. Sometimes it won't hit the bank account till like 1:30. Like, what are you doing? It's past 12. Let's go. Sometimes it'll get in there real quick. Now, if he was up, he could check it before it even hits the bank account, but he's asleep. So I guess I'm just sitting here waiting to be surprised, essentially. I don't know if it's smart for me to be online when I see it, because if he doesn't get that safety bonus, I'm probably going to lose my shit. He said it could be as late as next week, but I don't know. I hope things sort out too, because I don't know, man. I mean, we went through this stuff in December and barely make it through. We went through this stuff with the hurricane and we barely made it through. And then here we are getting ready to, not have work for 2 weeks and then find out and barely be able to make it through. And now we're finding out this. And it's like, can we get like one break with this job? Seriously? Like it's been a nightmare shit show since September of last year. I mean, he's had the same job for 8 years and we've never had this, they'd shut down in July and they'd shut down in December, and we'd always barely make it through because we'd never prepare correctly, even though we knew about it every year. But we'd get through. It's hard, but we'd get through. And then, September to December was awful, and then they shut down in December, and he only worked part of the time. He worked a lot of the time, though. We thought he was going to be off. And he actually worked a lot of it. So it wasn't as bad as we thought it was going to be. And then like things started getting better. He started going to Greer again. And we thought things were, looking up. We had a couple of nice paychecks. And then we get hit, 2 weeks, a week or two ago with, oh yeah, by the way, April, we're not, he's not going to work for 2 weeks. I finally figure it out. I finally get to where, okay, we can get through this. It'll be okay. We'll be all right. And then we get hit with, oh, and by the way, you may not have a job after that break. Well, I can't fix that one, unfortunately. I wish I could, but I can't. So it's just like, it's been nonstop since September of last year. And everything was great before that. We were making enough money that, we were taking enough money for ourselves and paying our bills and having money left over. And then it went to, we could pay our bills and not have any money for each other, but a little bit left over for the week. And then it went to, we're making enough money and we're barely getting by. And then it went back to, okay, we're making enough money and we have some money left over. And I don't know where we're at now. And I won't know till sometime tomorrow. He's getting up a little bit on the later side to start a little bit later, actually his normal time. He always goes in early, but he's going to go in for his start time instead of going in early. And he's going to talk to his boss and just be like, look, I need to know what's going on. I can't wait another week. This isn't right to make people wait a week and not have any type of heads up. You know, he tried talking to him today, and the guy was just like, "Oh, well, they'll be here next week." And I'm like, "We don't have next week. Like, we need to know what's going on. If there's something going on, we need to know about it." So he's gonna go in tomorrow and be like, "Look, I really need to know what's going on because this isn't okay." I guess there's no point in me sleeping because as soon as he goes there and talks to him, he's gonna be blowing up my phone. So almost makes sense for me to keep the car because there's no point in me. As soon as I come home, if I can't go to bed, because I know he'll call me and he'll be telling me what's going on, and if it's bad, I ain't gonna be able to sleep afterwards. That's what happens, you know. I go to sleep after he goes to work, and then like something bad will happen at his work or whatever. Or we'll get some bad news tomorrow, then I won't be able to sleep anyway. So I doubt I'm gonna get any sleep. So I guess the smartest thing I could do is after this live attempt to go lay down for a little bit so I at least have some type of rest before, you know, shit may hit the proverbial fan. So we'll see. I'm not super tired, so that's going to be frustrating. I hate going to bed when I'm not tired. But sometimes you got to so that you can get some type of sleep. I mean, I'm not saying I couldn't sleep, I'm just not like super sleepy or anything. Yes, you'd think I would be because yesterday I didn't go to bed until 7 in the morning and I got up at 1:30. So I ended up having like 6 hours sleep. 5, 6. 6. I had 6 hours of sleep today. But I had been up for, you know, a considerable amount of time the night before. So I mean, honestly, I could probably go in there and fall asleep. I'm really good at falling asleep, so I could go in there and fall asleep probably in 5 minutes if I put my mind to it. I want to put the towels and my clothes away, but I'm probably going to do that tomorrow. I just got them out of the dryer before I went live, so it's not like they've been sitting there forever. It's actually getting really warm in here. It doesn't help that I have a hoodie on. I have a t-shirt on underneath it, but then I got cold. And I put on the hoodie and now I'm warm. So. Ow. That was not pleasant. I was moving something with my finger and I apparently have a hangnail and just like went into the hangnail. That was not cool. Does anybody want to talk? Like at all? Because I'm running out of things to say. Life is a dumpster fire. That's a shirt. Is that the one I have on today? That might be the one I have on today. Nope, this is my MTV one. Yesterday I had the this little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine with the dumpster on fire. I had that on yesterday. Today's my MTV shirt. Hey Amber. He's supposed to be getting up for like 5:30, maybe 6. So I'm getting up around 6. We're trying the he gets himself up thing now. He tried today. It didn't work, but he woke up he set 3 alarms. He woke up for the first one that was during the tornado warning. And then I guess the second and third one, like he got progressively tired or I don't know, but he's going to attempt to get himself up tomorrow. And if not, then I'm getting up at 6 and he's going to have to like tear out of bed so that he can leave and be to work on time. Yeah, like he didn't do too bad. And I didn't want to be like mean to him because like I said, it was his birthday and I didn't want to wake him up with, you know, a bunch of yelling or whatever. So I just kind of let it slide and was like, okay, well, we'll just try again tomorrow. Because trying to get him up in the morning is just, he is very combative when he wakes up. He's tired. He's doesn't know where he is. Trying to wake him up is like trying to wake up a sleepwalking toddler. Like, it's awful. And I'm just like, he's like, well, I'm going to try to wake myself up. But I'm like, you do that. That'd be great. That would be wonderful. He's done it before. He's done it before. I had a time where I lost my shit and I'm like, I'm not getting you up anymore. And he did. He would get himself up and he'd come in and tell me goodbye. And I'm just waiting to see the fucking paycheck hit and that damn bonus not be on here. Still, it still doesn't hit. Well, that's not good. My tooth just made a noise. That's not good. I didn't know teeth could make noises. He went to bed at a pretty decent time. He went to bed about 9. It might have been a little after 9. But not too bad, especially if he's going to be getting up for like 5 or whatever. He'll get like 8 hours of sleep, so it'll be pretty decent. He doesn't normally get up. He got up that late today, and he even went to Greer, and so he got home at like 8 o'clock. But I mean, at least he got home. They were going to have to rescue him, which would have taken even longer. When a truck driver can't legally drive anymore, somebody has to come get the truck driver, and then they have to bring like 2 people. They have to bring like another person with them, and one person brings the truck driver home, and one person brings the truck home. When it gets to be where they're getting close to home, but they've ran out of hours. But luckily, they let him safe haven home, so which means that he's allowed to stop to the next safe haven. So he's not parked on the side of the road or whatever. And the next safe haven was work. So they let him do that. So he got home because he wasn't going to. Tomorrow is Saturday. No, tomorrow is Friday. Today is Friday. Today is currently Friday. I thought yesterday was currently Friday. So today's Friday. Tomorrow will be Saturday. Next Sunday, I would assume. He's going to take Monday off. Because he's got like 3 vacation days built up. And if something happens, he wants to use them up. You know what I mean? So, yeah, he went to sleep. I'm pretty sure he went to sleep. Like, he went in and actually went to sleep. But if something's happening, he's not going to lose his vacation days. So, he's going to take a vacation day on Monday, he told me. Because it's a optional day for him to work anyways. He only has to work 5 days a week, but he always chooses to work 6. So he's going to use one of his elective days off to use up one of his vacation days. I think we have like 3 vacation days currently. He was going to save them up for Easter, but Easter's in the middle of that shutdown thing. He can't use them during the shutdown thing because if he stays there, we would get unemployment for those 2 weeks, and you can't use a vacation day during unemployment. So, like, he's got to use them somewhere else. So he's going to use one on Monday, I guess. Told me that today. I'm like, oh, that makes sense, to be honest. So, you wouldn't be getting up at 6 or 6:30 if it was a Saturday? Yeah. Bronx must be out in the living room because I really don't see him in here. I thought he was over sitting in the chair. That's why I went over to look, and he's not in the chair. A lot of times he'll get up on the chair. He likes to sit in the chairs. He'll sit in my chair or my husband's chair. And he's not in the chair though. So he must have decided to stay out there. He's probably out in the recliner or something. Sissy is asleep. They each got a bed. They each got a bed. I can't believe it's 1:00 or almost 1:00 and the damn check still isn't hit. It's been doing that lately though. Wait until like 1:30 before I can check it. He can check it like right at midnight, but he was asleep, so I'm not gonna wake him up for that when it'll get here eventually. I mean, for me, my sleep schedule is so jacked up. Sometimes I'll go to bed at 9:00 in the 9:00 at night. Sometimes I'll go to bed at 1 in the morning. Sometimes I'll go to bed at 6 in the morning. Sometimes I'll go to bed at 10:00 in the morning. Like it just depends. I'm all over the place. I mean, it's a blessing and a curse. Like I can stay up for a lot of times that a lot of people can't. But like at the same time, I don't have a schedule. I don't have like a schedule to say like, okay, well, I'm up this time and this time, because like one day it might not be that way. So it's a blessing and a curse, honestly. Somebody's snoring. My hair's being a little fluffy today. You sleep more on days you work. Well, that makes sense. Work makes you tired. I do remember that. My husband is worn out. He's completely worn out. The other day he slept 12 hours. He never does that. He had a day off and he went to bed at a decent hour and he got up and he literally had like 11 hours of sleep. He doesn't normally do that. So I knew he was like hella tired. And then the other day he went to bed and he had like 8 hours of sleep and then he took a nap. I think that was on Sunday. He like had 8 hours and then he got a nap. And I'm like, so I know he's really tired. I'm not going to the gym several days a week, but I have returned to the gym. I did 3 miles, a little over 3 miles on the bike the other day. I'm slowly getting back into it. I didn't want to go crazy that day because I'm basically only doing my legs right now. I'm still scared to do anything with my chest. So I didn't want to go crazy with leg day and then not be able to take Sissy to the park. So that day I did a little over 3 miles. And then the next day I took Sissy for a walk. So right now I'm kind of trying to do some biking, try to get the stamina back up because my stamina was doing okay when I was going to the gym. And now that I've not went, my stamina is awful. So this time I'm trying to do a lot of on the bike and just trying to kind of haw at it and get a decent amount of time in type deal. The bikes tend to shut off after half an hour, so you have to restart them. But I didn't do 30 minutes. I did a little over 3 miles in 20 minutes, which isn't great, but it's not awful. So, I mean, I feel pretty decent on that. It's about 7 minutes a mile for a bike. I mean, it could be better for sure, but I don't feel too bad about it. I used to be able to do a mile in like 5:45, and now it takes like a little under 7 minutes. So I've lost almost a minute that I need. That's what I'm saying. Like my stamina is not what it was because like it takes me like a full extra minute to do a mile now. And that's a lot. That's a big difference. That's a big difference. So I'm trying to kind of get back where I was. Hopefully I'll get there. Can only do the best you can. The good news is when I get off here, I'll be able to go to sleep. I'm actually getting kind of tired, so that'll be good that I can just get off here and then I can lay down for a little bit before he goes to work. That way, if he gets bad news in the morning and he calls me freaking out, I'll be able to stay awake and panic. Still hasn't hit. Jesus Christ. It is Friday, right? That way I can stay up and panic with him. But hopefully there's good news tomorrow. That's the best I can say is hopefully there's good news. I mean, what are you gonna say? Hopefully there's bad news? No. Hopefully there's good news. It's the best I can do, you know? So, all right. Well, I'm gonna go lay down and whatnot and try to get a little bit of sleep before I gotta get up with him and wait for the check to hit so I can order the damn groceries. So thanks for hanging out with me. I appreciate y'all. Bye.